Chris just wanted me to drop off these receipts.
Oh, well, he's not here. He took off.
Okay.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most romantic and unforgettable first kisses ever aired on TV. We're excluding animated shows and characters who weren't actual couples on the show. A spoiler alert is in effect.
Woman, let's get on with it.
You are so impatient, my wife.
Number 30, Veronica Mars and Logan Echolls. Veronica Mars.
Is it all right if he goes outside? I'd like to talk to you.
Dream on, Jump Street. I'm not leaving you alone with her.
Kristen Bell starred in this cult series about a high school student turned private investigator. Over its first 3 seasons, movie and revival season, viewers became invested in Veronica Mars and Logan Echolls' budding relationship and eventual marriage. But it did not start out that way. They are adversaries for most of the first season.
Your dad is destroying the Kane family. What's the matter with you people, huh? What's the matter with you?
Logan once dated Veronica's best friend, whose murder forces them to work together. Their mutual investigation of her death draws them together until they can no longer deny their attraction. They kiss at a motel after Logan saves Veronica from what he thinks is an attacker.
After all, well, isn't this just a momentary thing? It's not like how it's permanent or any heavy thing.
Number 29, Amy Sosa and Jonah Sims, Superstore.
I mean, the thing about this structure is it's really solid. You know, it's very strong. It's very sturdy. It's
Very sexy.
On the season 2 finale of the workplace comedy starring America Ferrera, things got pretty dark, and we mean that literally. When a tornado strikes the Cloud9 Superstore, it wreaks havoc with the power and has its employees facing their mortality in a big way.
We're gonna die in a Cloud9 surrounded by diarrhea medicine.
well. We should keep talking, so those aren't your last words.
Co-workers Amy and Jonah's sexual tension was at an all-time high before the storm. As debris and wind swirls around them, they give in to their desire and share a steamy kiss. The mess it makes for them after the storm passes had enough gas to power their will they, won't they narrative well into season 3.
You know, if we were gonna talk, I might say something like, I was in a weird place emotionally, and...
But we're not gonna talk, right? So, no need to do this.
Number 28, Eric Northman and Sookie Stackhouse, True Blood. Sookie Stackhouse's ability to attract studly vampires is unmatched in the TV landscape.
Okay, I get it. I'm irresistible and intoxicating, but keeping things from me does not exactly help your cause.
Her passionate romance with the Southern bloodsucker Bill Compton was steamy enough, but this season 3 moment gave some fans hope that she'd end up with the blonde-haired, cold-blooded Eric.
There are forces beyond even my control. And if I meet the true death without having at least kissed you, Sookie Stackhouse, that would be my biggest regret.
Facing what may be his impending death, Eric gives her a goodbye kiss. Sookie's resistance has nothing to do with her attraction to him, but the fact that she doesn't know who to trust. But their connection is undeniable. What it did do was set the stage for the two's unexpected relationship in the next season.
If I lay still and think about nothing else, it feels like my own heart is beating.
Number 27, Pacey Witter and Joey Potter, Dawson's Creek. Pacey Witter made a move on Joey Potter in the very first season, but she rebuffed him. It would be another 2 seasons of pining and yearning before she decided she liked him back.
What do you want me to say, Pacey? You were right. You were right, okay? Right as always.
After he drives all night to rescue her from a disastrous date, Joey realizes that Pacey is one of the few people she can truly trust. But she still has her blinders on as far as her feelings go.
I'm not mad that you called me. I just want to know why you called me.
You were the first person that I thought of, Pacey.
And what does that mean, Joe?
It means that... I guess it means that I can talk to you and...
Pacey pulls over so they can hash things out, and they end up kissing on the side of the road. It is the moment fans had been waiting for.
You know, she told me that I was the one that she thinks about. You know, me. And then she gives me this look. I mean, what was I supposed to do? Do you know how long I've been waiting for her to give me that look?
Number 26, Winnie Cooper and Kevin Arnold, The Wonder Years.
I went down to the big climbing tree in Harper's Woods. I didn't admit it to myself until years later, but in my mind was the shadow of a thought that Winnie might be there.
Viewers didn't have to wait long for this one. Kevin Arnold finds his childhood friend and crush, Winnie Cooper, sitting by the tree they used to climb. Winnie's gone there after finding out her brother's been killed in Vietnam.
I didn't know what to say. I had the strangest feeling. It was impossible for me to believe that Brian was dead.
Dripping with 1960s nostalgia and awash with golden light, it's a perfect encapsulation of young love. That the scene is underscored by Percy Sledge's "When a Man Loves a Woman" only makes it that much more unforgettable.
It was the first kiss for both of us. We never really talked about it afterward. But I think about the events of that day again and again, and somehow I know that Winnie does too.
While their relationship would be an on-again, off-again one for most of their adolescence, it only made Kevin's endless crush on her burn brighter. Number 25, Fleabag and the Priest, Fleabag.
I'm ashamed of not knowing what
you want? It's okay not to know what you want.
No, I know what I want. I know exactly what I want.
Who knew a priest would be on one side of an all-time steamy first kiss? When Phoebe Waller-Bridge's fourth wall-breaking protagonist falls for Andrew Scott's straight-laced priest, it's as hilarious and steamy as it is complicated. Fleabag visits the priest who's begun to occupy her fantasies, and her heartbreaking confession takes a turn.
Neil.
What?
Neil.
Maybe it's the fact that it's two people who clearly can't keep their passions at bay. Maybe it's the fact that it takes place in an actual confession booth. Either way, it's an incredibly sensual scene of two people giving in to temptation.
This is a skirt and trousers.
Sorry.
Number 24, Janine Teagues and Gregory Eddy, Abbott Elementary.
I heard about a very interesting hookup this weekend involving someone in this very room. Someone that's a man, involving a woman, teacher. I heard someone made out.
What's a workplace comedy without some office romance? Viewers of this hit series from star and creator Quinta Brunson finally saw a season and a half of tension culminate in a stolen embrace at a teacher's conference. Public school teachers Janine Teagues and Gregory Eddy sneak into a flower exhibit in what might be the nerdiest breaking and entering ever.
I don't want to sound cheesy or whatever, but it shows like exactly how I feel about teaching. With the growth and everything. It's corny, but...
Though the two have made a habit of denying their obvious feelings for each other, they get caught up in the moment. But true to form, just as they realize the show's documentary crew have captured it on film, they panic and deny it all. But we know what we saw.
Who can really say what things are, or what they aren't, at the end of the day?
We got caught up in the moment.
That's what she said about it? Just two friends getting caught up in the moment? Good, because that's precisely what it was.
Number 23, Ned and Chuck Charles, Pushing Daisies. Every TV romance has its complications. Ned is a pie maker with supernatural abilities, and Chuck is his crush whose murder he's determined to solve.
I'd love to tell myself I was being unselfish, but I know deep down in my primal sweet spot I was being unselfish for selfish reasons. I just thought my world would be a better place if you were in it.
His magical powers have brought her back from the dead, but this poses a problem. What he brings back with one touch, he can also kill with one touch.
The pie maker's lips went as far as they would go. He couldn't will them to go any further.
Having realized how precarious their mutual attraction is, the two have to find a bunch of quirky but effective workarounds for their kiss. But the real sparks fly when Chuck plants one right on Ned's mouth, with the protection of plastic wrap.
You really shouldn't do that.
Number 22, Stede Bonnet and Edward Teach, Our Flag Means Death.
These past few weeks have been the most fun I've had in ages, years, maybe ever.
This quirky historical rom-com stars Rhys Darby as the somewhat incompetent captain of a crew of wannabe pirates. Captain Stede Bonnet's ship is intercepted by Edward Teach, the infamous Blackbeard. But Stede and Ed don't become enemies, they become lovers.
I reckon what makes Ed happy is you.
Captured by the Royal Navy, they realize that nothing matters as long as they can be together. Their first tender kiss on the shore inspires them to turn their backs on pirating and build a life together.
Maybe we can just get away, start over, reset. You said there was no escape.
A series of misadventures would have to happen before they can make good on it, but fans will never forget that first glorious moment of connection. Number 21. Sam Malone and Diane Chambers. Cheers. You know that couple that just can't stop arguing? That's Sam and Diane.
How do you think it feels to be attracted to someone that makes you sick?
I could write a book on the subject.
Sam Malone's womanizing ways constantly bump up against the delicate sensibilities of his cerebral and pretentious waitress Diane. The sparks that flew between them were undeniable, but whether they were totally romantic or just plain contemptuous was sometimes anyone's guess.
What was your final? Crippling a Buick?
Look, I'm sorry I had to do that, but I came in here with very honorable intentions of trying to help you out.
Though they had a couple of close calls, their first real mutual kiss happened in the first season finale. True to character, it happened in the middle of a heated argument. Realizing that trading quips only makes them want each other more, the two end the season in an impassioned lip lock.
You disgust me. I hate you.
Are you as turned on as I am?
More.
Number 20. Clarke Griffin and Lexa, The 100. This great kiss marks the beginning of a tragically short-lived but iconic same-sex TV couple.
250 people died in that village. I know you felt for them, but you let them burn.
The two leaders of their respective peoples, Clarke Griffin and Lexa, are initially at odds with one another, but they eventually develop a mutual respect and attraction.
Don't we deserve better than that? Maybe we do.
Clarke helps Lexa see that life should be about more than just survival, prompting Lexa to kiss her. Clarke pulls away as she's not over the death of her last love interest, but we saw from how she initially responded that the attraction is mutual. These two were a fan favorite pairing, even if they made some questionable decisions separately. Number 19. Catherine Kate Beckett and Richard Castle. Castle. Speaking of couples with conflicting personalities, writer Rick Castle and Detective Kate Beckett have their share of passionate debates while solving crimes.
Beckett, what do you want?
You. We actually had a hard time deciding which of their kisses was the actual first, and while it was tempting to choose their first romantic kiss, we're giving our nod to a kiss between the two of them while they're undercover. While attempting to sneak up on a guard, the two seek to divert his attention. In the spur of the moment, Castle kisses Beckett passionately so as to not blow their cover, allowing Beckett to knock the guard out. Castle was left speechless by the whole thing, and so were we.
That was amazing. The way you knocked him out, I mean, it was...
Number 18. Jack Shephard and Kate Austen, Lost.
I'm sorry.
Between its three central characters, Lost gave us one of TV's best love triangles ever. Whether you're rooting for Team Jack or Team Sawyer, most people would agree that Kate's first kiss with the duck packed a more dramatic punch.
I'm sorry that I am not as perfect as you.
Emotions run high on the island as Kate's past begins to catch up to her present. In a moment of vulnerability, she turns to Jack for comfort and they partake in a steamy kiss. Jack is caught off guard, and Kate seems just as surprised by her own actions. Unsure what to make of this, she rushes deeper into the jungle. As fast as Kate runs, she can't escape her feelings or what she did.
Kate!
Number 17. Buffy and Angel. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Look, I don't want to get you in any more trouble.
And I don't want to get you dead.
Willow and Tara's first on-screen kiss was touching, overdue, and even important. Yet Buffy and Angel will always be this show's ultimate power couple.
What'd you do all day?
I read a little and just thought about a lot of things.
For the first several episodes, Angel is an enigma. Although it seems like he genuinely wants to aid the Slayer, there's certainly something menacing lurking inside him.
I did a lot of thinking today. I really can't be around you. Because when I am...
Hey, no big.
Water. Over the bridge.
All I can ever
Under
think
the
about
bridge,
is how
over the
badly
dam.
I want to
think
kiss
it's-
you.
Kiss me?
Buffy finally gets a glimpse of Angel's dark side after they first lock lips. Pushed away, Buffy finds that the mysterious stranger she's fallen for is also one of the monsters she's been hunting, which is only the beginning of their complicated relationship.
What? What's wrong?
The closer Angel gets to Buffy, the closer he gets to true happiness. But the closer Angel gets to happiness, the more soulless he becomes.
Buffy, what happened? Nothing.
Number 16. Kurt Hummel and Blaine Anderson. Glee.
What's that? I'm decorating Pavarotti's casket.
Glee had no shortage of great first kisses, from Finn and Rachel to Brittany and Santana. Yet nothing tugged at our heartstrings quite like the first time Kurt and Blaine embraced each other.
Do tell.
Bullied and ridiculed for being gay, Kurt finds confidence in himself upon switching schools and meeting Blaine.
Kurt, there is a moment when you say to yourself, oh, there you are. I've been looking for you forever.
Although he initially only views Kurt as a friend, Blaine comes to realize that love has been staring him in the face this whole time.
You move me, Kurt. And this duet would just be an excuse to spend more time with you.
Delivering a heartfelt speech about how Kurt inspires him, Blaine leans in for a passionate smooch. From that point on, their romance soars like a blackbird.
All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arrive.
Number 15. Betty Cooper and Jughead Jones, Riverdale. This teen drama's first season revolved around the residents of the titular town and how they coped with Jason Blossom's murder.
So, Jughead, I suppose we have you to thank for Betty's ongoing obsession with his Jason Blossom ghoulishness.
Actually, Mom, I was the one who asked Jughead to help me write it for the Blue and Gold.
Betty and Jughead team up to investigate and end up at the Sisters of Quiet Mercy group home. Here, they not only find Betty's pregnant sister Polly, but they also have to deliver the bad news about her baby daddy, Jason.
Oh, I knew it.
Following a confrontation with her parents back home, Betty is visited by Jughead when she's alone in her room. It's while opening up to him about her family issues that Jughead demonstrates how much he cares about Betty with this physical act. The moment brings the two closer together, but also helps the budding detective remember a possible key piece of evidence.
Wow. That's what you're thinking about in the middle of our moment?
No. Number 14. Niklaus Klaus Michelson and Caroline Forbes, The Vampire Diaries. The attraction between original hybrid Klaus Michelson and new vampire Caroline Forbes had been building for several seasons by this point. But an intense stroll through the woods during the show's 100th episode finally brings those feelings to the surface.
You'll never again have to look me in the eye and cover our connection with hostility and revulsion.
Klaus offers to leave town, but only if Caroline is upfront about her feelings for him. She's been understandably reluctant to express affection for the occasionally villainous vamp.
Good.
Although their makeout session is accompanied by some intense and somewhat menacing music, the moment still had many fans jumping with joy. Number 13. Barney Stinson and Robin Scherbatsky, How I Met Your Mother. Despite their clearly different personalities, Barney Stinson is an incorrigible horn dog, and Robin Scherbatsky is a confident, tomboyish news anchor. These two have surprisingly great chemistry together.
This was my big artistic follow-up to Let's Go to the Mall.
The latter had a more girly side in her younger days, as she was a pop singer in Canada, which is a fact that Barney is obsessed with.
And of course, the robot makes an appearance in the sad love ballad.
After an ex who appears in her second music video breaks her heart all over again, Barney cheers Robin up by watching her So Bad It's Good video with her, over and over again. Ultimately, the strange mood of the video and the experience get to them, and this unexpected but totally rad pairing gets its start with a kiss. Number 12. Jessica Day and Nick Miller, New Girl.
Okay, let's just do this already. Just kiss me.
No, I'm not gonna kiss you.
Kiss me.
Just stop.
God, Miller, just kiss me already.
No, not like this.
While these roommates always seem to have chemistry, whether they were aware of it or not, it's in season 2 that Jess and Nick really start to become attracted to each other. After being scared by a strange noise when she's left alone by Nick, Schmidt, and Winston, Jess frantically calls her friends for help. Not only do the guys bring back 2 potential love interests, but also Cece, Cece's date, and Jess's current beau Sam arrive at the loft.
That was freaking hilarious. I mean, Jess, he jumped out on a ledge instead of kissing you. Can you believe that?
I'm an idiot.
Wow.
While Sam's presence kills the initial moment between the true American participants, who spend their time opening up instead of making out in the closet, Nick redeems himself later when he grabs Jess and passionately shows her what he really meant.
I'd meant something like that.
Number 11. Seeley Booth and Temperance Bones Brennan. Bones. Dr. Temperance Bones Brennan is a forensic anthropologist who assists FBI agent Seeley Booth in his investigations.
Myths are traditionally used to control behavior. For instance, the story of Moses bringing the 10 Commandments.
Wait, you're equating Moses to Sam?
These two are another crime-solving duo whose will-they-won't-they relationship offered plenty of first kisses to choose from. But we ultimately settled on their Christmas kiss.
Wow, look at that. Mistletoe.
When offered mistletoe, Brennan takes the opportunity to plant one on Booth. Suffice it to say, the resulting kiss feels far more charged than your run-of-the-mill friendly holiday smooch.
It was like kissing my brother.
You sure must like your brother.
She does.
Booth's flabbergasted expression and Brennan's subtle smugness make this one a gift for everyone watching. Number 10. Jake Peralta and Amy Santiago, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Excuse me. Oh, hey. We were just looking for a place to,
Boink.
Yep. Boink. That's my preferred term for it as well.
These two co-workers at the 99th Precinct started off as rival detectives who were often partnered up on cases. Despite their competitiveness, Amy and Jake grew to be friends who both respected and flirted with each other. So when they go undercover as an engaged couple, it's not too surprising that they're able to successfully find ways to maintain the pretense while in the presence of their suspects. This includes 2 separate incidents in which Amy and Jake fake kiss.
NYPD, freeze! We are police colleagues!
You're under arrest! This is a work event!
Although they had earlier agreed to keep their relationship professional, the partners later find themselves in private discussing Captain Holt's departure, where they end up kissing for real. Though they're interrupted from talking about what just happened, it's clear things have changed.
Hey, Jake! The new captain's here!
Number 9. Cory Matthews and Topanga Lawrence, Boy Meets World.
It was kind of cool staring down an angry mob.
The 4th episode of Boy Meets World not only marks Cory and Topanga's first smooch, but also Topanga's first appearance on the show.
Cory, I got Jedediah to drive me to your house after school.
Who's Jedediah?
My father.
Paired together by Mr. Feeney for a school project, Cory is reluctant to work with the weirdo girl. The two eventually come together in an act of protest, however, handcuffing themselves to their lockers.
Things could get ugly.
Matters take an uncomfortable turn when Topanga suggests they kiss. With nowhere to run, Cory is pressed up against a locker and his future wife lays one on him. Afterwards, the stunned Cory isn't sure whether to be ecstatic or horrified. His bad hair day only makes the beginning of the romance more memorable.
It was my first one, too.
Number 8. Stiles Stilinski and Lydia Martin, Teen Wolf. Stiles has been pining for Banshee Lydia since they were kids, but it took years for her to take notice of him and for them to become friends.
Just try to slow your breathing.
Although Stiles keeps his feelings to himself, a significant development occurs between them when he suffers a panic attack after learning his father may be killed. In order to calm him down, Lydia kisses him, and wow, what a kiss. Call us suckers for slow-mo, but this smooch got us good. Although their relationship doesn't turn overtly romantic for quite some time after this, the moment does help Lydia see Stiles in a different light going forward.
How'd you do that?
Number 7. Emma Swan and Hook, Once Upon a Time. The roguish Captain Hook of Once Upon a Time is a far cry from the one in Disney's Peter Pan. But his initial attempts to woo protagonist Emma Swan prove fruitless.
Why risk your life for me when there wasn't anything for you in return?
I didn't do it for you, mate.
That is, until it's revealed by Emma's father that Hook saved his life.
You couldn't handle it. Perhaps you're the one who couldn't handle it.
Hook manages to goad Emma into kissing him in gratitude, and while the two of them briefly argue about which one of them would have trouble handling it, they both appear taken off guard by the intensity of the kiss, and we're right there with them.
A one-time thing.
Emma warns Hook that it's a one-time thing, but considering the passion, we all knew that it was the start to oh so much more. Number 6. Magnus Bane and Alexander Alec Lightwood, Shadowhunters. Shadowhunter Alec Lightwood and Warlock Magnus Bane share a strong attraction, and have a great flirtatious dynamic right off the bat. But Alec has another crush and some family drama to work through before anything can come of it. Alec's need to restore his family's honor leads him to enter into a marriage with Lydia, despite his feelings for Magnus. However, Magnus arrives during the ceremony, helping Alec realize that marrying for anything but love would not be fair to either party. Lydia agrees, after which Magnus and Alec kiss in front of the whole wedding party.
You never cease to amaze me, Alec. Yeah. What'd I just do?
It may not have been the kiss they were expecting, but it was the one we were hoping for. Number 5. Damon Salvatore and Elena Gilbert, The Vampire Diaries.
This is even more pitiful than I thought.
There's still hope. The relationship between Damon and Elena slowly transitions throughout the earlier seasons of The Vampire Diaries. Getting off on the wrong foot, they later evolve into allies and friends. Then, by the end of season 2, Delena officially becomes a thing.
I deserve to die.
Suffering from a werewolf bite, Damon finds himself lying on what could be his deathbed. Elena looks after him, forgiving the dying vampire for everything he's done in the past.
I'm so sorry. I've done so many things to hurt you.
It's okay. I forgive you. Cuddled up together, Damon declares his love for Elena, and the two engage in a bittersweet kiss. Catherine then shows up with a cure for Damon, but she kind of spoils the moment.
Well, it's me you should be thanking. I mean, I'm the one who brought the cure.
Number 4. Blair Waldorf and Chuck Bass, Gossip Girl.
What happens if Victrola stays a Victrola?
If you weren't obsessed with Gossip Girl already, this smooch sealed the deal. Shortly after breaking up with Nate, Blair quickly finds a rebound guy in Chuck.
You know, I got moves.
Really? Then why don't you get up there?
No, I'm just saying I have moves.
These two start to see each other in a different light at a burlesque club one evening. Shedding some clothing, Blair shows Chuck that she's not that innocent. Blair decides to continue her bad girl streak as the night continues, making a move on Chuck in the back of a limo.
Thanks for the lift home.
You were amazing out there.
These wealthy, insanely good-looking teenagers express their mutual attraction for one another with a rousing first kiss. Of course, they do a lot more than just pucker up, if you catch our drift.
I want you to know with everything I won't let this go. These words are my heart and soul. I'll hold on to this moment, you know.
Number 3. Jim Halpert and Pam Beasley, The Office.
Hey, can I talk to you about something?
As season 2 of The Office progresses, Jim and Pam become much more than co-workers. At casino night, Jim can't conceal his emotions any longer and confesses his love for her.
I'm in love with you.
What?
Deep down, Pam knows that she belongs with Jim, but feels obligated to stay with her fiancé.
I can't.
Jim is left crushed, as is the audience. Before letting her go, however, Jim gives the receptionist of his dreams a tender kiss.
Listen, Jim.
Although Pam previously planted an inebriated peck on Jim's lips at the Dundie Awards, this is the couple's first true kiss, closing out the Emmy-winning season with a pitch-perfect cliffhanger.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, I think I am.
Number 2. Lorelai Gilmore and Luke Danes, Gilmore Girls.
Hey, the last one up.
No, not the last one.
Rory Gilmore had her fair share of memorable first kisses over the years, especially when she threw herself at Jess. However, Lorelai and Luke easily had the most meaningful romance on Gilmore Girls. For years, viewers longed to see if their friendship would evolve into something more. All that waiting paid off in this episode, as the two finally shut their mouths and touched lips.
What are you doing?
Will you just stand still?
Seeing Luke and Lorelai together at last, all the audience wants is to stand still and stay in this moment forever.
What are you doing?
Will you just stand still?
Even if the moment is abruptly interrupted, nothing can ruin the beautiful bond these characters share.
I'll be right back. I'll explain later.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Ross Geller and Rachel Green, Friends.
Try the bottom one.
While we'll never forget the kiss that commenced Chandler and Monica's relationship, the road to Ross and Rachel's first kiss was an emotional roller coaster.
You had no right to tell me you ever had feelings for me.
What?
I was doing great with Julie before I found out about you.
After a whole season of pining after Rachel and even getting a small friendly peck, Ross starts to move on with someone else.
You think it's easy for me to see you with Julie?
Well, then you should have said something before I met her.
As bad timing would have it, this is when Rachel discovers her feelings for Ross. One drunken phone call later, the cat comes out of the bag.
Rach, I got a message from you.
The will they won't they tension reaches its climax at Central Perk as they let their frustration out. Ross storms off but returns moments later and Rachel unlocks the door. With the music building up, they lean in for a first kiss unlike any other. Now that's what we call closure.
And you know what? Now I got closure!
Which first kiss made you believe in true love? Tell us in the comments.
I like that you made that choice, and the fact that you did it on purpose, well, it makes it far more fun than if you did it by accident.
I'm gonna see if I've got some plastic wrap.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.